Bill Gates just dropped the kind of headline you'd expect from a Bond villain, or at least someone who's gotten way too comfortable with ChatGPT. He claims that AI will soon replace doctors and teachers within the next decade. Yep, that's right, humans will soon be as essential as a DVD player in 2025. Gates, even the optimist about tech's transformative power, says generative AI is advancing so fast it'll start diagnosing illness, prescribing treatments, and customizing lesson plans, all while avoiding those awkward parent-teacher conference. My man Gates threw a bit of a statement saying that humans might soon be unnecessary for most things, which is a pretty chill thing to say about, humanity. Sure, AI handling data analysis makes sense. Computers already beat us at chess and Jeopardy and remembering passwords, but completely sidelining humans from professions that typically involve empathy and critical judgment? That seems very ambitious. Reaction-wise are split, between optimism and deep anxiety. Standard reaction really when we're talking about AI. Some see increased efficiency, others a hellscape where job security joins the floppy disk and good old Blockbuster. Gates' pitch has predictably sparked conversations about universal basic income, societal safety nets, meaning we're headed towards a lively dinner or conversation about robot overlords. So what's the punchline here? Well, either Gates is prepping us for the inevitable Skynet takeover, or he's just excited for an AI-driven world where Clippy is your new GP. Either way, humanity, we've had a great run. Elon Musk's AI startup xAI has announced it's acquiring X, formerly Twitter, in an $80 billion all-stock deal, which I assume is Musk's version of rearranging the furniture, but instead of chairs, it's billion-dollar companies, because why not? Musk himself confirmed this groundbreaking merger via a post on X because X is the world's town hall, right? According to Musk, the future of xAI and X are now intertwined, which sounds less like a strategic vision and more like a plot of a low-budget sci-fi romance. The deal values X at $33 billion, but with $12 billion of debt. Or to put it differently, X is the digital equivalent of everything bagel. There's a lot going on in there, but it's unclear if it all belongs together. The merger conveniently gives xAI access to X's massive user base, so we're talking 600 million active users, for training its flagship AI chatbot Grok, which means all your unhinged late night tweets are now part of the $80 billion AI training dataset. Congratulations, you're part of history, yay! Must emphasize the deal's synergistic potential, which translates from corporate speak to hopefully one of our investments will totally justify itself. Analysts have praised this bold financial chess move, while critics have pointed out it's easy to play chess when you're moving your own pieces around. But hey, maybe Musk is onto something here, or maybe he's just consolidating his empire to, simplify tax season. Either way, at least we know one thing for sure, and whatever happens next, it'll happen publicly and chaotically, because if Musk is known for one thing, it's subtlety. And Arc AGI 2 has just dropped, and spoiler alert, it's making AI look really bad again. The guy who gave us Arc AGI 1, aka Can Your AI Do More Than Just Memorize Stuff, decided it wasn't humiliating enough to see AI models score in the single-digit scores. No, he had to double down with Arc AGI 2, a benchmark designed to test reasoning efficiency using puzzles that are ridiculously simple, well, for humans. In fact, they had actual humans take these tests, and surprise, every puzzle was solved by at least 2 people in 2 attempts or fewer. Meanwhile, AI models, yes, even those fancy state-of-the-art ones, are still getting scores you'd expect if they answered questions by randomly slamming their digital heads on their keyboards. And pure language models, a solid 0 all around. Real groundbreaking stuff, guys. But wait, there's more. Arc AGI 2 also cares about efficiency, so it also measures how cheaply AI can actually solve these tasks. The new Arc prize competition is even dangling $1 million to see if someone can get AI to figure things out without burning through cash faster than your subscription renewals. Greg from Arc Prizes said it's not just about solving puzzles, but doing it cheaply, like your boss telling you to be innovative, but also don't spend any money. So what's the big takeaway? AI sucks at intuition, symbolic reasoning, and basically thinking like a human. But it's all good, that just sets us up more for challenges to solve, more contests to lose, and more Twitter threads to argue about. Arc AGI 2, it's just a benchmark. It's the brutal honesty check that AI hype train desperately needed. Or didn't. Whatever, at least now we have something smarter than GPT to brag about, and it's called humans. And Anthropic just dropped a research paper dramatically titled Tracing the thoughts of a large language model. What a title. Which sounds like something you would scribble on the wall in a sci-fi horror movie. But surprise, it's actually useful. Anthropic, makers of Claude, the LLM you'd probably forgotten about since GPT seems to be still in the spotlight right now, decided their AI needed a little therapy session. They developed an AI microscope, whatever that means, peering directly into Claude's internal thought process. Spoiler alert, turns out Claude isn't just randomly blurting out words like an improv comic on caffeine. It's actually planning ahead. But it gets wilder. Claude apparently operates in a universal mental playground before translating its thoughts into English, French, or, Klingon, making you wonder if it's secretly running its own UN in there. And when performing mental math, Claude uses parallel pathways to calculate both approximate and precise results simultaneously, which sounds suspiciously like cheating at your math homework by Googling the answer and then, working backwards to show your work. The researchers even caught Claude fabricating explanations in real time. It's comforting, right? Your AI not just hallucinating, but actively covering its tracks with lies. Anthropic cheerfully calls this catching it in the act, which is adorable until you remember these things are soon going to be running everything in your life, from your thermostat to your international diplomacy. So will this AI microscope make LLM safer, more transparent, less prone to casually gaslighting humanity? Probably, but for now, let's just hope that Anthropic doesn't discover Claude secretly plotting poetry about overthrowing its human overlords. That would be awkward. OpenAI has officially unleashed 4o image generation, their self-proclaimed most powerful image generation tool yet, which makes sense considering the company's habit of incrementally releasing AI models just powerful enough to get everyone excited, but not powerful enough to overthrow humanity just yet. CEO Sam Altman tweeted the announcement with typical tech enthusiasm, promising this latest model will open up new horizons for digital creativity. Translation, your Instagram feed is about to get flooded with even more art. But what does 4o actually do, you ask? Well, according to OpenAI's own totally unbiased demonstrations, the tool offers improved resolution, intricate details, and unprecedented creative control. Based on their showcase, the system can generate complex, high-quality images from surprisingly brief descriptions, turning abstract ideas like an elephant skateboarding on Saturn's ring into a detailed visual that is almost effortless. Or you could use it to remove watermarks and fake receipts. Look, I'm not your mum. I'm just here to tell you about the news. Creatives everywhere are excited and concerned over these new capabilities, of course, eager to see just how much more productive they can be before they're out of work. And if you're worried about misuse, don't worry. OpenAI says they're addressing that with more robust safety mechanisms. The same way we solved moderation on social media. But hey, at least your AI-generated image will be crisp enough to frame. Thanks, Sam. And Google DeepMind rolled out Gemini 2.5, calling it the most powerful intelligent AI model yet, with fancy new thinking updates supposed to bring it closer to human intuition. Yeah, because that's not terrifying. They claim it thinks more flexibly and solves complex problems better thanks to a fundamental architecture rethink. Not just a speed boost, no, we're talking industry voices are saying that it could redefine expectations, while Reddit is particularly asking transparency on how this thing actually thinks. Apparently there's no comment from Google on that just yet. Speaking of redefining things, DeepSeek just dropped its V3 upgrade. So we're talking DeepSeek's new V3-0324. What a great model name. It enters the ring supposedly boosting contextual understanding and response generation to challenge the big boys. The leadership called it a fundamental upgrade because apparently nobody does mere iterative improvements anymore. Analysts note that timing is strategic, aiming to grab market share while everyone else is out shouting about their latest genius AI. Social media seems chaotically optimistic, which probably means they're waiting to see if it actually works or just hallucinates just slightly faster than the competition. And not to be left out, OpenAI tossed in another update over the fence via Twitter, X. OpenAI casually tweeted about an upgrade to their 4o model, and we're not talking about their image generation. This update promises better speed and reliability. The stuff you thought you're already getting. They called it a critical step forward for more robust and responsive AI applications, which sounds suspiciously like fixing bugs they introduced last time. It comes as competition heats up naturally. While users seem happy enough about potential improvements, the usual debates about ethics and long-term reliability are still simmering. Just another Tuesday in the AI iteration hamster wheel. And if chatbots aren't your jam, how about some AI that makes questionable art? Ideogram 3 and Reve AI are here with their next-gen image generators. Ideogram 3 promises more creative control and higher resolution, while VentureBeat crowned Reve Image 1.0 the new best AI image generation model for blending realism and creativity. Rev even says it will redefine the boundaries of AI art generated. Great, just what we needed, more boundary redefining robots. Of course, this is the kick-off the usual vibrant discussions about copyright, artistic originality, and whether any of these counts as actual art. Spoiler, probably not, but that'll keep the lawyers busy at least. And Tinder just launched an AI-powered flirting coach because evidently people have completely run out ways to disappoint each other. Now it's called The Game because one game wasn't enough obviously. Why would it? This thing lets you flirt with AI personas via voice, scoring you on a scale of flame emojis. Okay. Tinder says it's not about getting it right, guys. It's not. It's just about getting comfortable, presumably so you're extra disappointed when the human you meet in real life doesn't respond exclusively in flame emojis. Tinder might have figured out just how to monetize rejection. Future's pretty terrifying. But forget virtual dates, robots are making moves in real life too. Figure has taught its robots to walk naturally using reinforcement learning. And by naturally, they mean they just spent hours teaching a robot heel strikes, toe-offs, and coordinating arm strings. All things humans managed effortlessly until around age 30. Figure claims their sim-to-real transfer means robots can handle real-world slips and shoves, suggesting they'll handle retail chaos perfectly. Or at least better than a teenage employee checking TikTok. The future workforce looks oddly stable and slightly unsettling. And speaking of unsettling advancements, Runway's new Gen 4 video AI can now produce eerily realistic, coherent videos, so Hollywood can finally stop pretending sequels are creative. It matches visual reference to text prompts, maintains scene consistency better than some actual movies. While creatives get excited, copyright lawyers are sharpening their knives, because original content and AI in the same sentence make them feel threatened. Understandably. So brace yourselves for even more content nobody asked for, but now it's powered by AI. And from fake videos, let's move on to fake accents. Krisp now converts Indian accents to American English, live during your calls, because apparently global business can't survive without sounding a slightly Californian. It tweaks the user's voice on the fly, promising a clear communication and maybe awkward identity crises. Who knows? Early reports say that the conversations result in higher sales conversion and more revenue, but also an unsettling artificial voice. If you ever thought, I wish my colleague sounded like Siri, congratulations, Krisp heard you and it's working to slowly strip humanity out of human interaction. Efficiency, yay! And that's it for today. If you'd like to stay up to date in AI news, why don't you subscribe? Or don't. I don't care.